Good morning, Ines.
Good morning, Tor. So good to see you.
So good to see you too. How are you this morning?
I'm fine. It's fine, meaning I'm looking out of the window this very second. It's not raining. It is overcast. It is chilly. However, there's little buds are out and so on and so forth. It's okay. We're not being bombed.
We're not.
This is, I'm not trying to be glib about something so desperately serious, but, I'm grateful for what we still have around here.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
Although I did wake up in the night the other day and it felt like the roof was going to come off. Did you hear that storm?
Yes.
Yes, that was quite something.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of unrest, because of, say, Ukraine now takes the front pages. Some of the weather patterns around the world, they're terrible. In Germany, Munich, they showed yesterday heavy snow again. And then in India, I know they often have bad, mudslides, but bad mudslides. And then in Arizona, they showed a rainbow, perfect rainbow. The state has had something like 8 or 9 years of drought.
Wow.
And you just saw this bleak landscape and this amazing rainbow covering this, but bad.
Wow.
Really, really bad things, not nice.
Not nice.
I feel so sorry for all of us people.
Well, hopefully we are some rays of sunshine.
We are.
During the darkness, right?
We are indeed rays of sunshine during the darkness. And that's, I think, what we're trying to explain a little bit, that why it's important even just to listen to podcasts in general.
Yeah, no, I very much agree with that.
And so if we talk about achievements or the progression in our life, we also have to include our spiritual progression. In the physical, it's a matter of progressing into a fixed situation of knowledge. But when we speak of our spiritual progression, we're talking of our values, our coping mechanisms, and our attitude of mind, which, of course, is strengthened through the art of meditation. But it's your life we're talking about, and the progression and achievements from within yourself are the life skills we amaze through extending our mind through meditation. These life skills that we amaze are deeper and more profound than any subject that can be considered, as we are dealing with the university of life, such as these terrible events that are happening in all over the world. The university of life requires our mind to expand and to open itself without prejudice and without fear. That is a difficult, people say, I'm not prejudiced, I don't have fear. Yes. What have you heard about meditation? If you don't do it my way, you're going to wind up floating around. Your brain will be floating around in the abyss for the end of time. Or there are evil spirits. Really? Think for yourself, find out for yourself. Now we're going to talk a little bit of the aura, to help us appreciate the importance of your life and the importance of, we just said, that open our mind without prejudice and without fear. The aura, which is our spirit, is that element that learns and gains from our physical life. It's an electrical force that is held together by molecules, which is then formulated into a situation of shape, such as our body, or the shape of any living being that has an aura. Worm has an aura. The only time the aura would lose its shape around the body would be when it left the body for either traveling towards spirit again, death, or out-of-body experiences. The power of this electrical force of the aura is held in place because of the two parts of the body, which are the top and the bottom. And these formulate the two ends. So we have a continuity of that force moving around and around, so that aura is a constantly moving situation, such as lightning. Although there's no correlation as such between the power of water and the power of electricity, there is a very close relationship, and it is one that complements the other. The body has the same ratio of water and body mass as the earth does. So we have a situation where the power of the aura is kept moving in the body and is constantly being charged, and the body is the function of that charge. So we're also talking about in between these sentences or whatever, these words, we're talking about looking after ourselves, the exercise, the food, all of these situations, our attitude of mind. Our body is the function of this charge. So we have the spirit, our spirit, which is the learning spirit, is what we are talking about. Within that function, so we have the learning spirit within that function of power moving, and this in turn generates heat and the power of electricity within us. To prove this point, on occasions, when you comb your hair, you can see little flashes in the dark. So the body does produce energy, but you might also wonder how the body keeps its temperature. Heat is a power that is generated by the body for the body. And this power also needs to be kept at the right temperature. So this heat, which is an electrical force, is needed for the body in order to renew wherever it is needed. It's also possible to read the aura. It's like looking in a mirror, and the coloring of the body could be seen like the rings of a tree. You go back and back and back. You're actually seeing the reflection of the body and the colors, which is an indicator as to how the body is functioning. The aura is the spirit, and it is of paramount importance in this part of our life. And so it also needs protection. You may have noticed sometimes that when it is very hot or very cold, the body keeps its own temperature by getting rid of excess heat through the pores of the skin, or the goosebumps when it's cold. The aura also needs to keep itself at a minimum temperature. So we have a situation where there is auto-controlling. Our blinking of our eyes is auto-controlling. Our hair grows is also auto-controlling. The fact is that the body functions are geared to keeping the spiritual functions operating and not particularly the body. Understanding the aura or the spirit that is traveling with us is of paramount importance, as our achievements, both in the physical sense and in the spiritual sense, need to line up with our karmic expectations. So therefore, another reason why the art of meditation is not only helpful, but also needful, so that the physical mind can be made more aware of its own path. It's like, you know, when you're fiddling with something, you're forever fiddling with a loose button. You know, you're forever fiddling around, not quite right, because it's loose. Your life is loose. Your life is off key. You don't sometimes know why. And that's when quieting our mind, we call it meditation, helps so much. Now, the aura explanation is all food for thought. If you think of your life, your life, there may be some betterment in some lives than others, of course, because some have money and some have not. Let's assume you had limitless funds and you could visit everywhere as often as you wished. You would then find what next? If we go to work, generally, we go through exactly the same routine. Nothing really changes very much, but we tend to find a reason to carry on. So it's a function of the mind. And if we don't find a reason, we can easily move into a depressive state of mind. Depression and heaviness of mind is normally brought about by the fact that you cannot understand your life, or there's a great boredom. And if the mind gives way, then we have a form of depression, which can interrupt all of the functions of our body. And the main function, of course, is our mind, the mind which controls the body. But if we think of life, it doesn't matter who or what we are. You can only do so much, and there's a limit to what anyone can do, regardless of what they have. You come into this world without a stitch of clothing, and you really go out without it. So our body is only required for a period of time, but the spirit, your spirit, the essence of who and what we are, goes forward. It is food for thought. Food for thought. Now, the important part of our life is how we live our life, how we see the purpose of our life, and how we can enjoy our life. We're talking about the totalness of life, not just one little pick, not just one little bit and not another. So helping to understand the aura a little bit, the spirit that is around us, which needs us to move forward in our life, regardless of what it entails, is very important. So the self-help tip for our life, if we feel we're roughly on the same path, it doesn't matter which way we're going. It just feels good. It's a feel-good feeling. So the important thing is to be awareness of self, becoming aware of our needs, choosing a solution that will help. Write it down. Make the solution attainable. That is basically why the aura, the spirit, meditation, out of body, everything comes together. But we're doing it bit by bit. Tor and I are doing it bit by bit so that we have more understanding. We can go through it. We can understand it. We can reject. We can accept, because it's your choice, your life. I believe you do that, don't you, Tor? Roughly, you analyze things, you hear things, you evaluate them, and then you pick and choose what is relevant for your lifestyle.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think that is, I think it's very true. And that was very interesting to listen to, Ines, because I think, yeah, it's fascinating, that thing about the body, and it's the spirit which progresses. And I suppose coming to terms with that understanding, it takes work, doesn't it?
It does. The good thing is, though, so let's say a person, I mean, generally the public accepts it. The nice thing is, the essence of who we were at any time is remembered. We take it forward into the next lifetime. And that's why we can regress, we can remember. And sometimes, if they've been very difficult areas of life, we can then understand why we have certain phobias, why we react so differently to many different situations. If we always went hungry, we might feel we need to eat an awful lot. Especially, say, going to bed. I know of one individual who was always eating excessively before they went to bed, and their past life had been that they were so hungry, they always went to bed hungry. And that is when I said awareness of self, understanding ourselves, not always beating ourselves up. I'm not good enough. I don't have enough. You know, come on, all the books. If I talk from a woman's point of view, you have to be a certain age, a certain height, a certain shape, maybe color of hair, this and that, whatever it is, pouty lips, skinny lips, whatever it is. There's a lot of pressure. Maybe somebody really just loves you.
Who you are, yeah.
Exactly, who you are. And that's important.
Yeah.
And I think our needs are basic to, the basic need is to accept ourselves.
Yeah.
That's the package. That's what we've got.
Yeah, no, I think I agree with you. Thank you, Ines, for
thank you.
Another week that's as depth as always. Really interesting to listen to. And if anyone out there has any questions or thoughts or comments, just send them across and we'll get back to you.
Brilliant, brilliant. Take care of yourself.
Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.